it is cult-like, where it's like, no, you all need to have these friendship bracelets.
You need these bracelets. You're going to wear these colors.
Right. And
you're going to be quiet when I say to.
Exactly.
Hey, welcome to We're Freaking Out. I am Jeff Horst.
And Esther Nevarez.
And today, we're going to give a recap of some of our favorite parts of the year of 2023 with our good friend, comedian, band,
Relevant Elephants.
Relevant Elephants. I was trying to list it. I didn't brainstorm all the credits beforehand.
No, you got all both of them.
Detroit, Detroit reppin',
Detroit native,
uncle to our cat,
I think you're good.
Franklin Village resident, Zach Hankins, everybody. Yeah, make a lot of noise for Zach Hankins.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm still used to like real live shows. I just said make a lot of noise for. I don't know who I was. Clap at home.
I think they will.
You think they will?
I think they will too.
For sure.
Yeah. That's good.
So we're going to talk about the year.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the year.
Because it's been a minute for the podcast. I think we start every podcast apologizing that we haven't done an episode. That's our intro. Hey guys, sorry we haven't kept up with consistency. Woo! All right. So trying to think of what. So we got a list of a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Jeff, do you have a favorite moment or anything you want to start with?
Favorite moment. What was some of my? Well, yeah. Let's. I don't know where to start out with. I mean, just off of memory, Beyonce and Taylor Swift. They had a year. I converted to both the Bey Hive and a Swiftie.
Converted to Swiftism.
I'm fine with. I don't know if I would pass like the trivia questions by the people in either of those groups. I don't know if I'm allowed to just be like,
I just like you guys. Join.
I just like the music, but I don't know the names of the albums. I don't know the history. I don't know their ages. I don't know how many albums they've made, but I put their songs on Spotify playlists and I like them. Isn't that good enough? I went to both of their I didn't go to I didn't go to Taylor Swift concert, but I saw her in the movie.
Zach, did you see anything?
I didn't see anything from that, but I listened to. I actually have been listening to Taylor Swift for a while because I think she is a good songwriter, but her trajectory bothers me.
In what way?
What do you mean?
Because we as a nation first fell in love with Taylor Swift because she was like the band geek in the back of the bleachers. And, she was the nerd and dork, but, we loved her for that. She was fun.
Yeah.
And then, years later, 1989, the album drops with the single Shake It Off, where in the music video, she's literally the cheerleader. So she was like the band geek, like, I'll never be the cheerleader, but that's okay. Cause it's, but I'm like, okay, so now you're the cheerleader now. And now on top of that, she's not just dating a football player. She's dating like one of like the football players.
Yeah.
A future Hall of Fame football player. One of the greatest in his position of all time football players.
Right.
That's a pretty high. Yeah. Not even just. That's better than the star quarterback.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm like, I feel a little concerned about this because I feel like a lot of Swifties overlook this. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. She still writes good music, I think. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I think we need to keep an eye on her. And like her fans like need to to hold her in check a little bit more because she's now like everything she promised she wouldn't be.
I don't know if she promised she wouldn't be. Maybe she's doing the trajectory of an 80s movie where this is her took off her her glasses and now she's the hot chick.
Could be that.
Because she had like becoming a Swiftie is a lot of work and there's a lot to learn. And I learned through a TikTok this whole PowerPoint presentation of her Kanye and Kim saga. Mm-hmm. And that was that there was a phone call and they recorded it and they edited it and made her sound like she wanted to be in the Kanye video, like she was okay with the song he was writing. And then all of that happened. And then she left. She went to another country. I think she went to like Europe for a year. She pulled a Chappelle.
Yeah.
And had to leave.
Wow. She went to Europe?
Yeah, as opposed
to
really you gotta go to where you're from.
She
Go back to your heritage.
Chappelle went to Africa and she went to Europe. She had to find herself.
Yeah, she's like in Sweden or something like that.
Yeah.
She's like, I gotta find myself in Stockholm.
And then she came back and recorded Reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I feel like that was like, oh, I got picked on by the hot chick, and I'm gonna come back and be the hot chick, bitch.
It was her revenge album for sure. I think that was definitely like a big turning point right there, because she had the "Look What You Made Me Do" song, which was probably her worst song, but still,
really,
it's a ripoff. A complete ripoff of "I'm Too Sexy." I mean, it's just I don't know.
Yeah, she did have to like pay them, right?
She tried not to credit them as songwriters, and it's like, I mean, come on, like I know your audience is young, but you have enough people old enough to listen to you that know "I'm Too Sexy" by Right Said Fred.
Sure, I go back and forth with those type of things, of whether or not I let those things bother me, because it's like it almost seems like just a requirement to be. It's almost like I've lost faith in all musicians at that level. Like there's countless songs that Beyonce and Jay-Z have directly, the entire beat is directly ripped off of like some Indian song that nobody's heard of from the 40s or something. There's like there's like an hour-long YouTube video of like, and they just pay them off.
Yep.
And the case goes away and life goes on. And then I'm like, all right. I mean, but they get to be. So I'm like, all right. Everybody told me I was hating when I was bringing that up about Beyonce or Jay-Z, but so I guess it just makes me feel like I got to look the other way when it's Taylor Swift. I'm like, all right. I guess I just got to accept that that's what music is that you make enough money that you could do whatever you want.
But we're gonna watch out to make sure she doesn't get too big for her britches, I guess.
I mean,
for her britches.
I think we're too late. She's a billionaire. Like,
yeah, but she doesn't act like a billionaire, really.
Yeah,
so
she's got
far,
cats.
I don't think.
Come on.
I mean, that's a good point.
She has status cats, though.
Yeah.
I feel like she got rich and then she bought those cats and was like, Scottish Fold. Yes, finally, I get fancy cats.
Although it would be nice if there was like a cat that was like with her from the beginning. I mean, cats live long enough that could have like, if she got a kitten like when she first started writing songs as a teenager, that like now she could be, hey, look, I started as a teenager in my room writing songs with this cat. Now my cat and I are in our mansion together. We did this together.
Yeah.
Not getting a cat at the tail end of things.
She got a cat like when she I think it was when she started getting like big.
Yeah.
It's like none of the animals that are like the most famous pets are the ones that live the longest. You know what I mean? So it's like in reality, I'd love like a turtle or a tortoise that can live to like 100 years. That'd be a way better story of like somebody who they're a musician and their son's a musician, and then it runs in the family, and then they just all
they pass down a tortoise.
They just pass down, but the tortoise isn't as cool. But now make that a cat. You know what I mean? It's a way better story. You know what I mean? Like a parrot can live throughout your entire career too sometimes. So it's like, what's up, Simba?
I don't know.
Simba's
He's like, we're talking about cats.
But
yeah, I got to the point where I'm to the point where I know the names of her cats. And I think that
Zach, take a guess at one of her cat names.
I'm a Swiftie now. If I know her name.
How many cats are there? 2?
3.
3? Oh, sorry.
Okay. I don't know her cat situation that well. I'm guessing one of them has a bad pun as a name.
I don't think any of them are puns.
No, but that sounds like it. Yeah, it should be.
Because Katy Perry famously had Kitty Purry.
Kitty Purry.
So I feel like Taylor Swift would have something similar.
She should have. If we're going to be honest, I think Kitty Purry is a better name.
No, I mean, because obviously she had to do that. That was more of a forced situation on Katy Perry's part. But what are the cast names?
But Meredith Grey.
Okay.
From Grey's Anatomy. Olivia.
Oh, wow. Is that what it's?
Olivia something else, and now I can't remember the cat's last name, and it's from a show I don't watch.
Oh, they're all from TV shows?
It kind of. And the other one's Benjamin Button.
Wow. Okay.
I do
so
think
she just names them after movies and TV shows that she likes.
So, yes.
All right.
Do you at some point ever think? Do you want to get our sidekick involved for any questions? I feel like Zach's mic would pick up
sometimes we have to
G-man.
ask
We refer to the Google,
things.
The Google.
If you say his name too loud,
If you
he's
say his
loud.
name too loud,
But
he gets
yeah, I'm
involved.
sure it'll be fine.
Okay.
But
Like, we get him
yeah.
involved.
So then, did you see? So you didn't see the film, the
No.
Eras Tour, and did you see the Renaissance movie?
I did not, but I have seen one thing going around, which I don't know if you guys participated in this, something called the mute moment.
Oh yeah.
So that just scared the hell out of me because, well, Taylor Swift already has one thing that not bothered me, but it was just like to show like how they both rule their fan base with an iron fist. Where Taylor Swift
you guys
is like,
need to do that.
where it is cult like, where it's like, no, you all need to have these friendship bracelets.
You need these bracelets. You're gonna wear these colors,
Right, and
you're
you
gonna
shut-
be quiet when
you're
I say to.
Exactly. She's doing this through a movie screen. She's not even doing it live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in the theater, we obeyed.
That was something.
We obeyed
So
for sure.
did you guys see it in a movie theater?
We saw
Yeah.
it live and in the movie theater.
Okay, so
Yes,
my
we saw
question
both.
for this is, I assume this had to be a problem of nearby theaters if everybody's screaming songs suddenly.
Oh, I don't know.
Was that a-
No, I don't think so.
I
I think
haven't
maybe the
seen-
walls, maybe they were
weren't
further
people
away.
singing
Oh,
along
yeah.
at the movie?
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
dancing. They were dancing.
Both
they were having
movies,
fun.
people were singing and dancing.
It was
and-
great. I thought it was
No,
great.
it seemed like a great time in that theater, but if you're like in the
Yeah.
theater over, like seeing something serious, like Oppenheimer or something that was out at like the same time, and like you're hearing like this
Oh
big
my
dramatic
God.
speech, and then everyone starts singing "Break My Soul," that would
You
kind of
break my
ruin.
soul.
That would kind of ruin the moment for me in the movie.
I didn't think about that because I have been in a theater where I'm like crying about someone dying or something, and then the next I can hear like boom, like coming from the next
I don't
theater.
think I've ever heard another theater, but maybe I'm just not paying attention. Maybe it's because I have like an edible, and then I'm just involved in the. I'm only involved in this movie.
Well, I think it's to this level because, like, I'm sure there's been plenty of times during a comedy where the theater busts out laughing.
Yeah.
And you might
Yeah.
like hear some overlap like outside or something, but this was like a whole theater of people screaming the songs.
Yeah.
Except for the mute moment, of course.
Yeah.
It's the only
Which
time
must
you
have
can
been,
hear your own
again,
movie.
very funny from the theater over. Be like, okay, I guess they're done. And then just to completely come roaring back a moment later when Beyonce told them to do that.
So yeah, so when we went, it was great. Like Jeff was like, she's gonna tell us what to wear. Like, she's Beyonce. You got to do what she says.
My gut instinct was fuck you. Just like I wanted to, and then I realized that I was taking away Esther's fun. Like it was like I was being a party pooper, for lack of a more sophisticated term. And so then I embraced it because everybody else just took it as a fun thing to do. But to me, at first, I was just like, what do you? I took it the same way that I took when in Southfield schools they thought we would behave better if we like had a uniform.
Mm-hmm.
So then they were like, you have to wear these colors and these, and then so then everyone's like, so you're making parents buy more. I have to buy new clothes for my kid to make them behave better. Now you're punishing me because my kid sucks. Fuck you. Like it was kind of like that attitude I had at first of just like that was my instinct, and then I was like, you know what, I got great stuff.
Yeah.
Although I like her music. Let's have fun.
Just a question then for Beyonce, because I know Taylor had the friendship bracelets. What did Beyonce make you wear?
Silver.
Silver.
But
it was really just that show
for men and women. Was there like a
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it was just silver
Silver
But-
for her birthday weekend.
for her birthday weekend, and
Got
we
it.
didn't pay. We probably would have just went to her birthday show had we have thought about the fact that we didn't Google when is her birthday before we bought tickets. So we just went to the day before her birthday, right?
I think, yeah.
Or a couple
2
days
days,
before, yeah. But
Yeah.
it was great.
So did you hear anything about the George Santos cameos?
Oh, of course. I was looking to buy some. I mean, they're only, I believe, $200 still. I love it.
They were,
think they
yeah,
went
look,
up,
they were
though.
$250 one time I looked. One time I looked, they were $400. I don't know if he's even still doing them now.
It's supply and demand. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, because I think
It's-
I think everybody who's in comedy or just has anything to promote was like, what's the funniest thing we could do right now?
Yeah,
I
And it's
didn't
to get
think about
George
that.
Santos to plug your thing.
yeah.
I think it's wild how
Jimmy
you,
Kimmel. I saw late night shows that were like that was a segment of
Yeah.
like, will he say it?
Yeah.
Like, can we get him to say this? And he's like, for money? Are you kidding me? What is this going to hurt my reputation? Like,
Right.
Like nobody. I don't know if we thought that we were going to make him embarrassed. Do you know how crazy of a person you have to be to where at first we're like, he's an awful far right crazy Republican, and then you're like, you know what? He's kind of funny. I think I could enjoy having a drink with him.
Honestly, I think he's a bit of an inspiration. Because he showed that you can get pretty high up in life just by lying. He has a high school education. That's what I have. And I've always thought I can't do anything with my life.
That's all. That's his.
He only has a high school education. He lied about going to NYU, and he lied about going to Baruch University.
I knew that he lied about the universities, but I thought he just went to a different one.
I
And he lied
did
about
too.
a better one.
The only thing they have actual proof of is him like having a high school education.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, and yet then he becomes a congressman. So he again like.
I mean, anyone
You're making
can-
pretty good money. You have a good your name's out there. Like he made a name for himself, and he's gonna be remembered for a while because this was ridiculous.
Yeah, I think he might be on Dancing with the Stars or something like that.
What was your favorite George Santos lie?
Oh man, I don't think I know them well enough.
Well, there's so many.
There's so many.
Did you see him with the baby?
No.
No.
What was the baby one?
Oh, he just had a baby. Like he
Oh, he
was
just
walking
said,
around. He was,
"I
like
had a
the
baby?"
press was around him one time, and they were trying to interview him, and they're like, "Whose baby is like? Is that your baby?" And he said, "Not yet."
Oh my.
He just had a baby.
I think
with
my
him.
favorite is when they asked him if he was Jewish or something, and he said, "I'm Jew-ish."
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that was a great one because
Yeah, that was good.
he
yeah.
did because he lied about his grandparents being in the Holocaust.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Even though they're from Brazil. He
Yeah.
lied about his mom being at 9/11 when she was in Brazil. Although my favorite lie of his is that he lied about being a producer on the Broadway musical Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
That's so specific.
I know.
I didn't even know about that musical.
Either.
It was one that U2 was writing the music for, and it was
wow.
delayed forever, and it bombed. It was like
Oh, no
Dang.
wonder.
it was the biggest Broadway bomb ever.
Oh wow.
Which I just think is hilarious because if you're gonna lie about a production credit, why the biggest bomb ever? Like at
Yeah.
least say like you were a producer on Hamilton or something. If
Right.
you're gonna, lie about your production credits, put it on good stuff.
Googleable. It's crazy that there's people that are still. It shows you how addictive lying is, because to lie on that high of a stage in a world where we have Google. You know what I mean? It's like I understand people lying before the internet. It's
Right.
like, I don't know, prove me wrong.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's just like, who worked on this play?
Yeah.
All right, your name's not there. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like Playbill.com had to like put out an article saying George Santos did not produce
Oh wow.
Spider-Man, which
Yeah,
I just
that-
thought was fantastic. Which again, because this also does let me down a little bit because it just shows that nothing really matters. You can get away with like he's gonna get away with everything.
Yeah.
That's
There's
what's-
I mean,
He's facing fraud charges, but it's like everyone. I feel like everyone is at
Yeah.
this point because of the cameos. Like, I'll let him go. It's funny now.
Yeah.
well, I mean, even if he gets fraud charges, how much money did he make? He's already paid for his.
Yeah.
He's not going to go to. Like, do you think that he would go to jail, or would you think he would get a fine? And so, therefore, the fine was already paid for because he got famous because of lying,
Right.
And then he was fired because of lying. But then he still was famous enough to go make money on. Now that he's still famous from lying, he can still make money on Cameo because he lied.
Mhm.
And even if he has to pay money, well, he's got money because of the Cameo. So it's like it's a whole circle. It's like, wow, you really
It's not that much money on Cameo. I don't know why he doesn't charge more. And it
I
also
felt like
means
it went
if-
up because I felt like one time I looked at it and it was like way higher.
But if he's making that much money, that means he's doing like 1 million cameos.
He
I think
is.
it's so funny. Watch.
There's
Just thinking if he's driving to the store, just like, "Hey, Billy, happy birthday! Good luck with the
he
surgery."
really there's like 10 of them that I saw in a row. He's wearing the same shirt. You know what I mean? Like in the
Yeah.
same corner of the couch or whatever. Like it's he
Wow.
probably
He proved 2 wrongs make a right.
yeah. He's
Well,
the American
more like
dream.
more like 99, 100 wrongs make a right. Like an unlimited amount of wrongs make a right.
Yeah. I've only known one actual like compulsive liar. Like in is that the real term? What's the real term?
Yeah. Pathological.
Pathological is what I was looking for. But yeah, Kevin McPeak, which who cares? We can say his name. He's in jail because he's a pervert.
Yeah.
So
He's
whatever.
a comedian
yeah,
from
Google
Michigan.
him. He's an awful human. But
Well, his name is McPeak.
his name is
Yeah,
McPeak.
and that's what he went to jail
And he got
for.
arrested because he drilled a hole through the bathroom door and was spying on his daughter's friends when they were using the bathroom. And true story. Whatever.
Jesus.
I'll put out anybody's business when they're a horrible human being. But
Yeah.
the point is that he had credits of being like a writer on Everybody Loves Raymond.
Mhm.
That he never had. He just told people that was what it was, and that was listed on his credits. Other people just repeat the bio. Nobody's Googling these things,
Right.
And then and it's like, but nobody's.
He said he wrote for Roseanne.
He said he wrote for Roseanne. He
he's
gave
definitely
all
just
of
a
these
compulsive liar.
stories. He would record his set going to the he would be like, he would tell the audience sometimes, this is my last time doing comedy, just for them to like him more or something. And then he did that for years. Like,
Wow.
it's insane. So yeah, apparently it's a thing. People love the lion.
It gives me a thought though that we should do this ourselves for our
Lie?
own. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But on top of that, like
Yeah.
I'm thinking we should pick The Simpsons because they have that giant dead area. Because everyone's like, The Simpsons stopped being good after like season 10.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
even true.
Which is first, I agree with you.
Thank you.
But if we just tucked our names into like a season 22 episode, who's gonna really look?
I was in season 22 of The
Exactly.
Simpsons.
Yeah, because no one
I
saw
played
that.
Lisa's
Yeah.
aunt.
Yeah, exactly. We could just
Make up a whole
say we
story.
wrote and starred in that episode. No one's gonna check that. Just get a mid-season
Yeah.
You can
episode
do
of The
those
Simpsons.
Simsify yourself online.
Simplify yourself
This-
online.
exactly.
Absolutely.
This
yeah.
is me.
Yeah, so I think that's something we should do. If George Santos taught us anything,
Mhm.
Yeah.
is that we can pull this off.
You
So
can be whatever you
anyway-
want to be in life.
Exactly.
We were on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
That's what we're
We
saying.
were on the
We're
were on
all
this.
of us
Look directly at the
together.
cat. We were on the Simpsons.
We
You're on
were
The
on The
Simpsons.
Simpsons. Thank you. You're welcome. My God. All right. So go.
Oh, I was just gonna pick a thing
Go,
I just
pick a
saw.
thing.
The Dalai Lama.
Mm.
Ah,
This year.
oh my God! What was that? How did
Yeah.
we move on?
This year
That was.
or last year.
I mean, like as a Catholic, it was a little bit of a relief to be like, "Ha! It's not just us."
Oh,
But-
wow. First, I didn't know you were Catholic, and also that's hilarious. Holy shit.
So that was a bit of a relief. But no, I grew up very Catholic. But so yeah, that.
How
But,
Catholic? I don't know why. When
Oh,
you said
I-
very, it felt like a challenge.
well,
I don't know.
I grew up
I-
so Catholic.
Catholic school, K through 12, church every Sunday, all that stuff. Yeah. So.
Every Sunday,
Yeah.
Catholic church, K through 12. What's kindergarten Catholic even mean?
Oh, that's just telling you who Jesus is and stuff
Ah.
like that. Like just giving you like the base stuff and like, then obviously like, then
like
first.
in kindergarten, he died from like a cold.
Yeah,
And
no,
then he
no,
gets
no.
older, and then you're like,
No,
no, they like murdered
No,
him.
in kindergarten they tell you like, no, he died for your sins and you're a piece of shit. They still tell you that in kindergarten. They just kind of dress it up a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. But I did that my entire time, and so it was nice to see that. It's like, okay, cool. So this just happened. Like it happens everywhere. It's not like other religions can now like point at me and be like, hey, you guys are weird with kids. I'm like, well, you guys are too. Yeah.
It's weird. To me, the weirdest thing is what type of fetish is a stick out your tongue, suck on a tongue. That's so weird. It's
Yeah.
like, didn't you think this pervertedness through? Like, at
Mhm.
least Joe Biden, like, it took years for people to catch on of like, he's not really whispering secrets in these kids. He's really just kind of sniffing them. You know what I mean?
and-
Like
and
that
also-
was,
and people
it's
could even
creepy, but I don't think the world caught it immediately. You know what I
Right.
mean? This was like upon sight. You're like,
Right.
that don't look right.
Like that's
Like a first glance. Nobody, I don't need to rewind it.
yeah. No, sticking your tongue out is like just a step less bad than whipping it out because we all know what it's for.
Yeah.
Oh, I just don't want to believe it.
I mean,
You know what? And people can have multiple things. You know what I mean? Like he can.
Oh, yeah. The old two things can be true at
Two
once.
things can be true at once. It doesn't. We don't have to take away his quotes. It's not like we have to like. We're not canceling him. It's not like the things he.
I know, but
the quotes
some
on the
people
wall
probably
that
canceled him.
The next to people's Live, Laugh, Love posters, their Dalai Lama quote can still stay on the wall if it makes you feel better. It's not like you got to be like, he sticks his tongue out in little kids. It's like, what is it? Did the quote make you feel good? Pretend Michael Jordan said it. Who gives a shit? These are just words that make you feel good.
Nirvana's not real.
What?
Nirvana's what you enlightenment. You know, like the end of Buddhism, like there's reincarnation.
I thought you meant the band.
Oh no, there's.
I was
still
like,
real.
what did they have to do with Dalai Lama?
But yeah, it's just it was depressing.
Yeah.
And so now I feel like my brain is going to forcefully forget it just so I can be like, yay, Buddhism.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Did you see Barbie?
I did see Barbie. I didn't see Oppenheimer. So
I didn't
we
either.
didn't either.
Okay, so we didn't do Barbenheimer. We just barbed.
No,
we just
barbed.
Okay, we just
We
barbed.
definitely didn't Barbenheimer.
Yeah. So I did see Barbie. I loved the Barbie movie.
Yeah,
I loved it too. I loved the everything that went along with it. Like I went to Barbie World downtown. Or no, it was in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
And it was like this
Well, you did.
full size version of all this Barbie stuff. Like you could play in like a big van but it was for kids.
And you forgot it was
And
for kids.
I forgot it was
there.
and
You
my
were
friend
like, "Turn
Kristen
it
and
up."
I got there and we were just like, yeah, let's get in the van. I'm driving to Barbie Land. And we were just doing all this. And then I was like, why are all these children around? This is like really annoying. Like, get out of the way. I'm driving to Barbie Land.
Yeah, you stupid kids.
God, why would you bring your kid to this?
And then we had the same thought when we went to the movie.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I wasn't there with you at Barbie Land, but we all, I feel like, had the same thought when we went to see the movie. We're like, what the fuck? Why are there so many fucking kids here?
Yeah. Because
It's
we
just
went
like,
to
why-
Barbie with Kristen, with her purse full of rosé, and we like take
Took an
our
edible.
glasses
Right.
out. We're
Yeah.
like filling up, like, yay, Barbie's coming. We're like, children? Why would you bring your kids to the? I
Yeah.
totally forgot.
I
was
forget. I
like,
forget
Yeah.
kids are allowed to just go wherever they want.
Barbie was made for us because we had Barbies. And
Well, Barbies are, no, but that's again, that's just on you because I love that because Barbies are still being made.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
still like the
Yeah,
biggest
yeah.
toy in the world.
for sure.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, but I,
And on
I
top
was,
of that, too, you're bringing rosé to the theater. You know, notorious rosé drinker Barbie.
it's pink.
It's,
Yeah,
I get
yeah,
that,
it's on
but I'm
theme.
just like, what version of Barbie ever drank booze?
I
We
don't
saw
know.
the
I had
movie. They
Boozy,
showed
but
us
had
weird Barbie might.
day
Yeah.
drinking Barbie.
Day
had
drinking Barbie.
Barbie
Yeah, there
in
might
the-
be some more that they didn't show us.
I had Barbie in the 70s.
Oh my god!
So she did a lot.
He's like, yeah, there's a cocaine Barbie. Yeah, there's probably heroin Barbie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I loved the message. I'm like happy that little girls, like got a good adult movie, really. Because
Yeah.
like when I was growing up, the movies weren't so much like this is for kids and this is for adults. It was like, Star Wars was Star Wars. It wasn't made for kids. It
Yeah.
was an adult movie. And I think they're like Wizard of Oz even wasn't made for kids. So like they got a real adult movie with messages that
Mhm.
you can carry through a lifetime and you and your mom can both be affected. And I like that.
Mhm.
oh yeah. And the funny thing is, I still don't get because even though like I'm pretty liberal, like progressive guy, whatever. As you remember, there was a big like hubbub about like like being like too woke and stuff like that from the right
Oh,
wing
yeah.
crowds or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think it was a lot to do with that speech that the main character makes. Her name escapes me right now, but that she makes at the
America.
end. Yeah,
Ugly Betty.
American Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that she makes at the end. And I was like, is that what you guys are so upset
Yeah,
about? Like,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I was watching that. I was like waiting for the moment to be like, okay, what are they mad about?
Yeah,
And then that just passed.
yeah.
And so it just seemed like a lot of people were just so ready to be mad at this movie.
Yeah.
Which is even funnier because, I mean, it's one thing to go in there as an adult, like, in your 40s, 50s, whatever, to go celebrate a toy movie with a bunch of kids. I think it's even funnier to be a grown man to go into this movie with a bunch of kids ready to be mad about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that takes
Like,
a new level
the
that I
amount
can't
of
even.
the amount of people that watched it because they wanted to have justifiable anger
Yeah.
is so funny to me. It's like Ben Shapiro went to showed himself in the theaters.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you knew you weren't going to like it before you watched it.
Right.
And you decided to support them financially.
Right.
What? Who does that? You already know you're not going to like it. It reminds me of the times when they were like, they got a whole bunch of, I remember on MTV where they had people like listening to Eminem's album and like saying how much they didn't like it. And it's just like, well, you guys bought this album for 10 people so they could listen to it. Like, well, you still support them financially. You're not helping.
I think it was
case.
definitely how they portrayed men.
Yeah, I think that's what they were.
But was it even that bad? Because
for a movie you have to exaggerate things sometimes in order to make the point. So it's like they're missing how a movie is. If it was at one point when there was what was it? Was it during the song? Oh, when Ken was like watching the businessmen like shoo off a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, so I think a lot of people, they were upset at the idea that I'm a man and I'm supposed to feel. They took it as I'm a man and I'm supposed to feel bad because I'm a man.
Yeah.
Why are you making me feel? It's not my fault I'm a man. This is just the way I am. Like that's the way they took it, and it's like, no, this is about society. It sounds you're taking it a little bit too personal,
right? And on top of that too, it was like clearly done as a joke. I mean, like that's when his character is like learning about, how men have worked in the patriarchy, all that stuff for the longest time. But it's clearly just a joke. I mean, when he just walks into an office building saying, "I'd like a job, please." Like,
really?
Yeah.
Like, you don't see the humor in that?
Like you don't see, is that how you got your job? Like, that's what makes me question now. It's like, who told them? Like, that's not how it happens.
The doctor, when he wanted to be a doctor. And
he walked into a hospital.
Need a clicky pen.
Yeah.
And
he wore the white coat and he's like, I'm a doctor now. They're like, well, he's a man, so he's a doctor. No, that's not how it happens. That's never how it happened. So I just don't get where all the anger came from. Like, it was just like people were so preloaded to be mad about it. And then it just turned out to be an enjoyable movie.
It amazes me. What did you think the movie? I can't even think of a plot line other than having feminism be a part of it. It's about Barbie. What
they wanted Barbie and Ken to get
married.
That's what they complain about Taylor Swift about. They're like, she's a bad influence because she's not married and she doesn't have children. What are we teaching our kids?
Teaching kids that to wrap up. If you don't want a kid, what do you mean?
That's the don't want a kid is the part where you're supposed to want a kid. And the fact that people, if you're teaching them you don't have to want a kid, you're already a bad person. You're already a bad person. It's crazy.
Wow. I feel like people have been brainwashed into believing that you just have to check all of the adult boxes of like, you have to go to a university that is not within driving distance of your home, and then you have to get married and have children, and it's just like, you can do whatever you want. Yep. There's a lot of things in life you can do. You don't have to do all those things, but I liked the movie.
Did you see the stuff about Burning Man?
Oh, I love that. The Burning Man fiasco was hilarious to me.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because it was so crazy.
It was just like the two groups that weren't sure what. You had like the group that was trying like hell to get out of there, but you still had the stragglers behind still trying to treat it like, hey, it's Burning Man.
Yeah, we still got to burn the man.
Yeah, and I just love that so much. But also, I just love the idea that rich people pay so much to be poor for a week. I love that. I think that's hilarious to me.
Yeah. I mean, that it's like weird. The extreme version of, white people and camping, just in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they're just like, let's pretend let's have fake poverty for a weekend. You know what I mean?
I've always said,
isn't it crazy to live outside?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Well, I've always said I'd love to do a version of Burning Man in the Midwest. Like we create a venue called Trailer Park. And everyone gets their own trailer. And it's like, oh my God, look how campy and fun this is.
I bet they do that
All
somewhere.
the curtains have
really
Confederate
good.
flags over them. That's hilarious.
That would be so good.
Yeah, people would totally pay money for that. Like if you get like your own personalized trailer, like that's perfect. Like that would totally sell.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're willing to live in the desert and roll around the mud for a week.
Really would.
Yeah.
That really
if they
would.
just got like MAGA hats.
Right.
And they're like, look, ha. I'm
Yeah.
married to my cousin and I love Trump.
Oh my God, isn't this
Yay.
so funny? Yeah, like they would love that. There's
Yeah.
like,
Wow.
I mean, you wouldn't even have to book any bands because for like the full immersive trailer park experience, you just have to like get like bands on DVD and show it like on the one big screen in the courtyard in the trailer park. That's all you have to do
Just
That's
if
play
you want the
Yeah.
official trailer park experience.
play YMCA over and over.
Oh yeah, that's like the Get Up music that they play every morning.
Man, this would sell.
When Chris Rock got stuck there, right?
Yes,
Chris
he
Rock
got stuck there, and they paid him and I forgot who he was with.
It was a DJ, right?
Diplo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and they paid somebody to drive them
Yep.
to a town. They had to walk really
They
far.
were in the back of a truck.
That's so hilarious.
Well, do they have stand up at Burning Man now? Is it that
I
kind
think
of an
he
event?
just went.
No,
to
he
hang
just went as a
out.
civilian.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, that's such a weird thing to do stand up at.
They probably do have stand up there though, but I don't know that they could afford Chris Rock.
Well, yeah, First of all, there's that, and then on top
Yeah,
of
you
that,
don't get to support. You don't get to pay that much money for comedian and be like, burn the man. Yeah.
Well, on top of that too, it's like, how do you even do a set in front of a whole crowd of people who are just tripping balls
Yeah.
for days? Like they're gonna think.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
barely passable to do comedy in front of people that are high, to be
Yeah.
honest. When people are a room full of people that are high are hard enough to make laugh collectively, let alone on hard drugs.
yeah, in the desert.
But I wonder if they're just if people are gonna keep going. They're probably just gonna keep going
Oh, yeah.
because,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
have a friend who is, I guess she's a Burning Man friend. Maybe she's Burning
Do they have
Man
names?
adjacent.
Is there like a
What do you mean? Oh, like a Burnhead or something?
Yeah,
like
are they
I
like-
don't remember.
yeah.
I just know Burning Man people, and
okay?
I feel like she could have talked me into going if I had like X amount of money and time. I could be like coaxed into going. But now that you're like, well, you might get trapped in the mud for X amount of time and not have Wi-Fi and whatever. They didn't have water. I don't know. They were dying out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
Mhm.
How are they going to just who's going to just take that chance?
Yeah.
That's a special kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
No, none of the festivals, like the big festivals, ever sound appealing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like Coachella, like I have no interest in going to because it's just like, hey, do you want to hang out in the desert for a weekend and see your band maybe play for half an hour and then be stuck there
Yeah.
with no water unless you want to pay $10 for it? Like,
And isn't there
no.
are there multiple bands playing at the same time? So then you have to decide. I don't
think
like
so,
any-
yeah.
I don't like decisions. I hate decisions.
Yeah.
Decisions are the worst part of life. Like when people describe society as if like taking away decisions, it being like worse when they're like communism and I'm like sounds way better. Tell me what to do. I don't want it. I don't.
Oh,
I would be way more productive if you just. I wish when I was 8 somebody just picked a job for me and I had to do it. I probably would
Lord.
be less stressed. I got to pick between. There's 3 different bands and I like them all, and I got to pick which one that I got to hear. And then what if the one I pick, my friends go to the other one and they're like, they did this, but they never do that, and that's what. But then I regret it, and I spent all of this money to be in the desert for a week, and now I have regrets. Like I don't want to have regrets over something that costs that much money and is a once in a lifetime thing. You
right.
know what I mean?
Well, because Frank Ocean had that huge fiasco where he's like, oh, it's curfew, gotta go, guys. And he showed up like a half an hour. He showed up like super late to the show. So it's like, cool. So any Frank Ocean fans, like, I drove out to the desert to see Frank Ocean, and then he just told me to go fuck myself.
yeah,
That's all
Yeah.
that
No.
happened.
that's insane.
So why would I do that? I don't know. I'm not touching any festivals.
So the other highlight of our year was we had a hurricane.
We did have a
Yeah.
hurricane.
How was hurricane for you?
that
The hurricane.
Oh yeah, I forgot there was a
yeah.
quake.
Oh yeah, there's a
It was a hurricane.
Yeah.
It was the thunder snow of California.
That was an incredible weekend because that was actually personally a very big weekend for me because my band just got back together for a show.
Okay. Oh, that was the weekend.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
couldn't remember the time frame
wow.
of it. Yeah, you're right.
And we had already one fiasco happen because our drummer got COVID.
That's right. I forgot that was the same
Yeah.
time as the hurricane.
And so we couldn't practice at all. It's our first show in 3 years and we haven't been
Right.
able to practice. Our drummer gets COVID, still can't practice. The day he tests negative, LA gets its first hurricane in 110 years or something like that. It was over a century.
Insane.
So we can't do anything then. And I'm just stuck in the house with my dog who refuses to pee in the house, even though I told him it's okay this one time. He won't listen to me. He's fine. But I had so I had to
He's peed since then. Esther.
Yeah, Ringo is alive and well,
him.
and he has peed many times since. But so just having to be stuck with no rehearsals, no practice, and then going into our first show in 3 years for an hour-and-a-half set to play without any practice at all, thanks to just nature getting in our way entirely.
You guys did great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a fun show, but it was just like, wow,
Yeah.
of course this is when LA decides to do that. Because like it's one thing with LA when all the rain comes in January and February where I'm like, all right, I know this, I expect this is cool. But this was August. And it's just now we're getting a hurricane. I didn't even know they hit the West Coast.
Yeah. It was crazy because I was like, I couldn't tell who was exaggerating because everyone in LA never cares about anything. It's like there'll be a crazy fire and we'll look it up. It'll be like 20 minutes, 30 minutes from us. And no one looks concerned.
Nobody does.
Nobody
cares.
When I was working in a place where I had coworkers, I had people texting me going, "Are you okay from the fire?" I'm like, "There's a fire by us." I went into a room of a coworker. I was like, "So you were good with like the fires, right?" They were like, "What?" Never mind. I had a friend. It's fine. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
People picture when they hear that there's a fire in Los Angeles, they're picturing. First of all, a lot of people when they picture Los Angeles, they're picturing like downtown New York.
Skid Row. Yeah.
Like they're picturing either Skid Row or like they're picturing downtown like New York. Like they think of I don't think they know even what the layout is. So they're picturing just like a busy intersection of like apartments and businesses just all ablaze.
Like
and it's like
and
it's like no, when there's a fire in Los Angeles, it's like a fraction of like Tom Cruise's backyard. And it's like, you know what I mean? It's like it's usually like it's usually a big area of land where it's like, yeah, it's sad that like part of a park, but it's, you know what I mean? Like, sure, I'm not happy that part of a park or something is on fire but it's not people's homes. It's not like a neighborhood in Compton, just an entire block caught on fire. That's not what what's happening.
That never happens.
Yeah. But that's what people are picturing all the time.
Yeah. And I just love how people in the Midwest and East Coast follow LA weather more than people in LA
It's so
themselves.
true.
I get so many texts again when there's a fire or an earthquake being like, "Did you survive the earthquake?" I didn't even feel that earthquake.
Yeah,
I
there
have
was
no idea what
one
you're talking about.
yesterday.
Oh yeah, we did have an earthquake.
Didn't
yes.
feel a
again.
thing.
Did
Like
we?
that- yeah,
I
we
didn't
had-
even hear about it.
Yeah.
Exactly. We had one.
I got a
didn't know.
notification on my phone.
I barely believe that they're real. I barely even believe in earthquakes. But what is it is interesting how different apartments in just different parts of the city are just so different. Like I think one time our tater tots rolled on the pan on the stove.
That was your
You
And
heard
I was
noise?
like,
That's your-
and then I got a
pan?
notification and I was like, oh, all right, I guess they made the tater tots.
That's
roll.
your Richter scale.
That's my Richter scale.
You guys leave a tot on the counter. Did the top move?
Yeah. One time something fell off the shelf, like something small that was like not important
Crackers.
at all. Like crackers fell down. And I thought that it was our cat running around trying to get
Simba
into
gets
some stuff.
blamed for all the earthquakes.
So I blame, I mentally, I didn't like yell at him, but in my head I was like, it's Simba doing some stuff. And then I was like, oh no, that was an earthquake. Like that's how subtle it is.
Yeah.
But yet people are like, I don't know, in 1984, 30 people died from an earthquake. And I'm just like, 50 people. This is what I will repeat this 1,000 times on every podcast I ever do. If you Google it, around 50 people on average die in Michigan every single year just driving in the snow.
Mhm.
That's it. And it's gonna snow and you gotta drive. There's no way.
Mhm.
For the rest of eternity, 50 people are gonna die every fucking year in Michigan because they live in a state with snow. And you motherfuckers are getting upset at me. You're shitting on California because my crackers fell off a shelf. Fuck yourself. You kidding me? What are you talking about?
We are going to pay so hard for this.
I don't care. I always die on this hill. I die on this hill all the time.
I know, but you just know, like the day after this gets released, you're like, there's nothing wrong. My crackers fell off. Who cares? This is the day after is that's when you will fall into the fault line.
I hate snow that much. I think I would still trade for it. I don't know. I don't know what it would take for me to be like, I would rather live in snow than that.
Yeah, do you want to keep tempting fate? Let's do it.
Shut up. Stop doing this. So do you remember the Bobert hand job? That was fun.
Oh, that is right. She's right up there with George Santos for me.
She really is.
Because again,
no, I like George Santos. I don't like.
Well, no, she's definitely worse. But I just like another high school educated person rose to the rank of congressperson. Because again, it shows that
did she actually go to college?
No, she's a GED.
GED.
She's got a GED.
Damn.
So I'm just I'm if you feel like you're 18 and you're not suited for college, you can still go out there and be somebody.
Yeah, I'm not making fun of anybody with a GED, but if you do have a GED, you shouldn't be in Congress. I'm not shitting on you. Nobody with a GED would even want to go to. You know what I mean?
I guess they would. She did.
If no normal person,
gun Hooters.
Did you know that?
Oh yeah, the gun Hooters. Yeah.
Oh, the gun Hooters.
And her husband. Well, I don't know if they're together or not, but yeah, apparently they met. Like he was a flasher.
I didn't know her husband was a flasher.
What do you mean they met as him as a flasher?
No, but he apparently he apparently was a flasher. The guy's also a pervert.
Whoa.
It's her ex-husband, I believe, because again, she was
ex-husband because
the guy feeling her up was
a different
somebody
dude.
else. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, during
she got divorced.
She just has a thing for dudes that have their dick be
very,
in public.
very big into PDA.
She's big into public dicks.
Yeah, very big into PDA.
Wow, what a weird thing to have.
Yeah.
I'm into guys who just are comfortable having their dick in public.
Right. Well, also, the fact that this happened during a performance of Beetlejuice is the funniest thing. Because, I can't think of anything less sexy than Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I can't. Did anybody make a beat joke? And she was beating them off and Beetlejuice. I don't know. I didn't follow all of the late night bits
I don't. Well,
it.
I guess I didn't either. So I don't know.
But
you may be the first.
But just the fact, and then she played the whole "Do you know who I am" card when she was getting booted out,
which is so funny.
That's the last card you should want to play.
Yes.
Do you know who I am? I am allowed to jack off my boyfriend in a theater. What do you mean?
The people have spoken. They voted for me. I'm allowed to do this now.
Unless you're Alanis Morissette. No, you're not.
Wait, did she do something like this?
No, just from the song "I Would Go Down on You in a Theater."
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God! But that made my day. Because again, this also makes you feel, because I get interested in politics and things. I'm like, I could run. I get the vibes. Sure. I could run. I just got to lie about some stuff and go see more musicals, and apparently that'll be enough.
I mean, you definitely could. I think anyone could run. Do you want to do the job?
They don't do the job. It's fine.
Oh yeah, I guess they're bad at their job.
Which I kind of admire that. That's the part that I actually do respect.
Yeah.
Is because the job sounds like it sucks.
Yeah, they got staffers to do it for them.
Important jobs that I respect the job of doesn't mean that I think the job would be fun to do. Just because I respect the job itself and a lot of the people that doesn't sound fun. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what they say. Dentists have the highest rate of suicide. Sure, I respect dentists, but it doesn't sound. Yeah, are you ever going to come home from a day of work and have a fun story of man, this one lady, her teeth look terrible. I got out so much plaque from her teeth. That's your I saved the day moment. You know what I mean? There's no I feel good about what I did. It's just a great. You know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, same for that for politics. It doesn't sound fun. I mean, and so that's I don't trust the people. I think the people that would be good at those jobs aren't the people that they're smart enough. If you're smart enough to be able to do a good job being a politician, then you're also usually smart enough to know that it wouldn't. I don't have to be a fucking politician. Why would I want to be a politician? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of the people that would be best at it are also smart enough to know that it's a stupid job.
I mean, it is, but I'm still tempted by it because
I think you'd be good at it.
I have a bit of an ego. And I'm at this point now where I've worked a lot of dumb jobs. I'm tired of working. So I'm okay if they sent me there to go do nothing. Like,
I think
can handle
the hardest work is probably the campaign.
And exactly. And I'm good enough at speaking.
Okay.
I'm good enough at speaking in platitudes that I could placate just about anybody.
You want to give us like a snippet?
Do you want to like ask me like a question? Like if do like a press conference, like I'm running for for office. You know?
Zach.
Yes, you.
What will you do with all the unhoused people?
Well, that's a great question. That's definitely been a big problem in the city, but that's something that we really need to focus up on. On the federal level here, and that's why I think I need to be sent to Washington, because there's real change that does need to be made in our city. And I want what's best for our citizens and the unhoused.
You have my vote.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
I didn't. Yeah,
that was great.
No,
You didn't-
no
you didn't-
positions, no strategy, nothing.
Wow, that was
That
great.
was
But I
good.
trusted you because you didn't hesitate. You didn't say or ah, and you gave a good tone. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, you're
I think
right.
you're gonna win.
I think you're gonna win for sure.
Did you? Now that you're running, did you see any of the Golden Bachelor?
Or hear about the show itself.
I've heard about the show. That's the old version of The Bachelor, right? Like everyone is like, how old are they?
He is 70.
All of the above.
And they're like 60, I think 65 to like 80.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think some were like 62 or 60. I think it went from like 60 to 80.
I couldn't remember.
But I mean, when it got down to the wire, though, it was closer to the 70 range.
Yeah.
But
so my first question, because
ask us, we watched the whole.
All
thing.
right, because
ask us all your. Now you're interviewing us,
right? Because I don't know about they have like in like the regular Bachelor, they have like what is it, the fantasy suite or something like where they pretty much go and bone off camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do they have that in this one?
They did.
What?
Yeah.
They sure did.
Yep.
But
down to the wire of two of them. That was part of his decision. Part of his decision was which one did I like fucking the most.
And you know what he called it? You know what he called it? He kept saying knocking boots.
Oh my God.
I've never watched any of the other ones, but I got sucked in. I was like, I'm in it for the old hoes.
Yeah. There's no way the regular Bachelor is more exciting, because to me, the stakes are actually all reality shows. We've come to a point in society where we're like, they're not real, right? So, but you're watching it like, I wonder which parts of this are real,
right?
So the regular Bachelor, with them getting married at the end, part of you is like, I know they're just going to get divorced. They're just trying to get a TV credit, maybe make some money, have fun fucking some strangers on TV and go on with their life. They're all like in their mid-20s or something, right?
Yeah.
So then this one, the whole like thing that they keep on repeating is like, I'm trying to, see if I can find another. This might be my last chance for love. And then you're like, it might be though. You know what I mean? So then you're like, you're like, I actually am following this, like the stakes. I actually believe that they believe that I believe that they believe it.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it makes you more. You watch the show and you're actually more tied to the emotion. Where if you see some, there's no way I've never watched. I'm the same as her, where I've never watched the other Bachelors. But if some woman cries for not being picked in the regular Bachelor, I'm like,
you're hot in 20. You'll be fine.
I'm like, I'm like, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, get over your. Who cares?
Yeah,
Who
but
cares?
This one, if you're 70, it's like the clock's ticking.
Yeah. You're a hot 72-year-old, and you know what I mean. Like,
Although,
if
you're a hot 72-year-old, that's something to definitely hang your hat on.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, so obviously, again, like, back to, not to be like, make this too much of a sex podcast here, but
sex cast.
But so he has to like pop Viagra, right? Like, how old is he?
They didn't talk about
He
that.
didn't talk about that.
Because how old is he?
He's 70.
He's 7.
Okay,
he's
so
72.
Oh, 70.
So
Okay,
he's got-
you remember
so
better
he's
than
got
I
to.
do.
Should we ask the assistant?
No.
Okay. She doesn't like getting the assistant. I like the assistant.
But so he had to be doing that too. Like, there's no way like it was just like that. But God, I just did they at least talk in like the transatlantic accent when he said knocking boots? That'd be the funniest freaking thing to me. He's like, yeah, we're going to fantasy suite. We're gonna knock boots.
He did not.
He
but
did have a hearing aid.
Oh my God.
And then that was part of they made that like part of the whole thing. Like,
look how old he is.
Like they weren't even.
Yes.
It's not that they were. not only were they not trying to hide it, it's I almost don't even know if if he needs it. Well, I almost don't even know if he needs a hearing aid.
Any of the women in the show have like other things like that, like canes
they
or
had
whatever?
The first episode, they all had to sleep in this big mansion, and they were like bunk beds, and then some of them were like, well, I gotta be down closer to the bathroom, I get up a lot at night, I can't climb this ladder, is there someone else, I got bad knees. And then there was a time where they did Never Have I Ever, but they were doing it with ice cream, eating ice cream. So they're like, and then the woman did the little like interview where she's like, I have lactose intolerant IBS or something. And so, and then she got so sick from Never Have I Ever eating ice cream that she couldn't go to the rose ceremony because she was shitting and dehydrated.
She still passed and moved on that round.
What a time to get a rose.
Oh my God.
Someone knock on the door, be like, hey, you passed.
I couldn't handle how dumb funny that stuff was.
I couldn't handle the fact that she just felt peer pressured into just eating ice cream. When it's like,
this is a network show, right? It's on ABC or whatever. So they could afford a pint of non-dairy.
Yeah. Tell a producer to go buy some. I eat it all the time.
But I don't remember if that's the same woman. There was somebody, or if it was someone else that they were trying to blame. They're like, someone got sick and they ate. Another woman was like, it's not my guacamole. And they're like, no, they ate your guacamole or your meatballs, or I don't know. People were getting sick. It was.
But it was weird watching it, like feeling like it's okay to objectify women when they're older. It feels less sexist. It feels progressive instead. It feels sexist to be like, oh, look at just judge a 20-year-old off of, or whatever, mid-20, some younger woman just off of their looks alone. But then something, for some reason, when you're just first glance and he's meeting all of these women and you're like, I'm like, the hottest ones he didn't even, I'm like, that's one of the hottest 7-year-old women I've ever seen. Why did you didn't give her a rose? She got kicked off the first time just because you didn't have a spark. Give her another week, man. You know? And then I'm like, I can't believe I'm like frustrated that I don't have the same taste in women as this 72-year-old man. I can't believe that that's like a frustration that I'm having, or I'm like, who would have thought that me and this 72-year-old man
have the same taste? Well, I also feel like in this case too, the women would have a better pass in terms, because like, reality shows always have like the bitch. I feel like they would all be bitches.
Yeah. No, they were all really nice. Oh, there was one woman who like tried to stir the pot. But besides that, they were kind of really nice to
they
each
would also
other.
get like
really nice.
But I feel like they'd get a pass, because like when you have like the 20-something-year-old who's a bitch on the reality show, everyone's like, oh, fuck her, she's a bitch. But like I feel like a 70-year-old was like a very crabby 70-year-old's like, yeah, she's been through it. She deserves to be bitchy. I'd be rooting for her over anybody.
That's true. That's really
funny.
Funny.
She's had 2 shit marriages. She's over. She's just trying to find love. Cut her some slack.
Oh, God. And then the guy, the Golden Bachelor, oh, he cried.
He cried.
Oh,
he cried so much that it was so good for TV that it made me be like, do you, it's either he's fake crying better than anybody I've seen fake cry, because it looked like real tears. You really believe that he's crying. So it's either like you're an amazing actor, or you interviewed him based on the idea of like, did you know he was going to cry this much? Like, was that part of it? Or did you guys just get lucky?
Right, because if you got like the 70-year-old men that I know, crying makes you gay.
Yes.
So that automatically means they're disqualified from The Bachelor.
They didn't, that's fun. And you know what? It's weird that they never brought up any politics. Like, you're going to marry somebody.
It's network TV.
That's just the hardest thing for me. That's the only part of the show that it's hard for me to wrap my head around, that he's marrying a woman who he literally doesn't even know if she's
camera
racist.
They do it and they just have to cut it out.
No.
You just have to cut it out.
Like,
they're not going to show that.
Like, so he's just going to come up with a different reason. So some of the women he didn't give a rose was because the outtakes, they were like, we got to get rid of the blur. And they're just like, oh my God, no, you can't. The country would be a lot better if we didn't have as many. And they're like, all right, well, so you didn't get a rose today. Right. Like, that's how it
would be funny in the back. He's like, no, I want to give her a rose. No, I don't.
No, you don't. Yeah, I was trying to figure out their politics just by like their demographic.
When they meet the family, she's like, you're in Idaho?
Yeah.
Where do you live? What?
Where do you live? Nebraska? I don't know.
Florida. Oh, but you're from New York originally. Okay, that puts
All
a
right.
twist
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it.
there was
It
twists
was like,
like
what,
that.
I'm like, you have an openly gay son and you're okay with it? Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
I vote for you.
Yeah, you're like, I know you're in a red state, but you're
But you went there.
factoring all
You
the
went. But you went
things
there.
in.
But you went to Arizona because you wanted to get away from the winter. Okay, I get it. Okay. Yeah.
Yep,
But
that was
I
our whole
didn't-
judgment.
But I didn't agree with who he picked at all. I was, couldn't sleep
I know
for
she
days.
grew on me.
No.
She grew on me.
Are they still together?
They are,
Okay.
but I mean, they just.
it's only been a
it-
couple of months or whatever.
Yeah, they just got. There was a live telecast of them just getting married like 2 days ago.
I don't know. First of all, I just want to know, just like, how long does it have to? Does he have to follow the rules?
Oh, of marrying her?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think.
mean,
I don't know. I heard like in the regular Bachelor, aren't they allowed to like? I want to keep this going. Like, but it's
Yeah.
like they don't
But
exactly.
they
have
don't
to get
usually.
Married.
But I feel like the rate would be a higher success rate for this.
Yeah, like I imagine
the
they don't
older
get
people.
married.
The
Yeah.
older people, I feel like, would be more likely to be like, yeah, I did this as a game, but you know what? Yeah, you're fun. Who gives a shit? Let's just do this for a while. But the younger people, I feel like most of them overwhelmingly didn't stay married.
Also makes you question how wills work because again, like they're old.
Yeah.
I can only imagine like with the family being like, "Oh, sweet, our rich grandpa, he's leaving us all this." And
Yeah.
what golden bachelor?
Yeah.
Like, some lady from reality TV swoops in last minute.
Yeah. They met the
That's
family.
that's the real prize.
They met the family. They met the kid, like the other people's family, and then it's like, so are you gonna fly? Like, you don't live in this state.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
yeah, they have
So
to move.
That's the weird thing too. Of like, why don't you like that would be way more interesting if
Yeah.
you just found a whole bunch of old people in your state to
Yeah.
make it a little bit more easier. Like,
That-
why didn't you? There's not enough hot 70-year-olds in wherever you're from. You're gonna just pick them from
Let's
all
just do
around
a
the
bunch-
world.
That's just
You're just waiting for it
Florida.
to
It's
not
just
work.
all
I was
Florida.
gonna say like go to the villas in Florida. I'm sure
Yeah,
you can.
You just have to
maybe it
watch
should just
all
be
Florida.
all Florida. Maybe it should just be all Florida.
Yeah.
I'm just like waiting for their marriage to fail because it's a long distance relationship no matter who he picks.
Right.
No, I think they have to move. I think they even said they were moving.
And then they got to pick which person's family they care more about.
Yeah, they
Are you
have
gonna
to
pick
literally
my side?
like
He-
where do they
'Cause
want to
he's
live?
Like,
and-
well, I mean, after all, was I the Golden Bachelor or were you? Oh no, that's right, I was the Golden Bachelor. So we're gonna
then
go to we're to.
it was-
Oh, I chose you, right? You're my prize because I decided that you were worthy of my. You know what I mean? Like,
and all the ones that didn't get selected, the bachelorettes that didn't get selected, are kind of like vying for there's going to be a golden bachelorette.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you can see like they're all like, I watched the wedding and they were all doing like stuff. Like one was like interviewing people and some were being interviewed and they had Chippendales come in. It was silly and ridiculous, but you can tell like they're kind of like auditioning kind of like it's weird.
Wow.
Like because one of them is going to be the bachelorette.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the ones that were competing. I don't know if they already picked one, but it looked like, oh, which one does the world like best and want to see a whole show of?
They were giving like politician answers. Like they were definitely trying to audition for it. Like during that
Yeah.
process, you could tell that everything they said, they were trying to make it sound like their life was more exciting
Mhm.
or more dramatic or better for TV. They were all dressed up. Yeah, that was weird.
Wow.
It was entertaining.
So any other year end? What was 2023 like for you? Any other things?
Out of the big stories, I mean, not a ton of other things.
Or
happened to
anything
me.
personal.
No, well, personal stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
like you guys know this. I play. Well, the audience might not. I play in a band, and
Yeah.
we played the
Yeah.
Indiana Bacon Festival this last year. It was a great time. I'm sure. Yeah, who doesn't know that festival? But yeah, so we got together for the first time in years to go play in rural Indiana for a bacon festival.
Hell yeah, you did.
And we opened for the guy who won American Idol last year, which was the funniest freaking thing I think I've ever been a part of. The last 3 acts of the night, and there was like about 8 to 10,000 people at this festival.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was the biggest show we've ever played. But the last 3 acts of the night were a bacon eating contest, us for about an hour, and then last year's winner of American Idol. So if you want to talk about reality TV, how far has that show fallen off? Where you win the show and you're just above a bar rock band that hasn't played in 3 years. I feel so bad for that guy.
But no,
Aw.
that was definitely a highlight of a good highlight of 2023 for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's great.
No, it was a great time.
Did you get Ringo in 2020? No, you got him in.
No, I've had him for over a year now.
Yeah, I have no idea of how time works.
Yeah, no,
All right.
you're all good. You're all good. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. What's our 2023? I also don't know how time works because I'm like, what happened last year? What happened the year before? I can't believe 2019 was 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think
Was it?
this
19?
podcast, I feel, is almost more for ourselves as a timestamp of like, all right, so we are here on this day at this time, just checking in on what happened in 2023 before we start the next year.
It was crazy. That's why I love watching like the year end things of what happened in the year because I'm like, oh, that was this year. Holy shit. And then this year started. What's the date? The 5th or something?
Oh,
And
6. Today's
the
January.
6th?
Happy January 6th.
Oh,
January
I
6th.
forgot. It's
Yeah.
January 6th.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We're
Yeah.
supposed to be celebrating.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
We should like
6
take
days.
over the post office or something. I don't know what our version of.
6 days, and I feel like they've already been crazy. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope this year isn't as crazy as last year, but it's an election year,
It's-
so
it's
I don't
on-
know.
it's-
I think
yeah.
it
it's
will
gonna
be.
it's gonna be a mess.
Yeah, there's no way it's not going to be way crazier. I mean, there's already been several several mass shootings.
Lovely.
Mhm.
There's maybe an alien in Miami. Cat Williams hates everybody.
The alien in Miami, I'm
And-
excited about. I
Yeah.
want that one to develop. If we're gonna have anything go on, because like there's gonna be so many like different lies and stories and everything told on social media
Yeah,
that I'm like, and especially conspiracy theories. But I'm like, at least I think the alien conspiracy theory is the least harmful one.
sure.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's the one that it's like no, an alien, whether they're good or bad, they definitely don't care about your political beliefs.
Exactly.
Like they're like there's
I
no way
wonder
that
where
they're
they're
like,
gonna fall. Like, is that gonna unite us all? Like, it's us versus the aliens, or is it gonna be like the right is gonna be like the aliens?
Aliens don't exist.
The aliens are not alpha enough, and they're
Yeah.
weak, and screw the aliens. And then the progressives
whoever's
are gonna be.
whoever's the president at the time that the aliens officially invade, the other party is going to be like, well, no aliens invaded the White House when a
Right.
Republican was in office. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it doesn't
Exactly.
matter. They're still gonna politicize anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like the aliens could be MAGA or MAG aliens, if you will.
McGallion.
And so, I mean, we have to see how like progressives will react to that because again, like they don't really have a whole lot of guns, progressives, and so we're gonna have to reach across the aisle then.
We're gonna try to befriend
Yeah.
the aliens.
Exactly. Like we're
Yeah.
gonna have to figure something out.
Maybe that'll be the whole thing where we're gonna try to. That's the movie is we try to befriend the aliens and the Republicans try to kill them.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, and it turns into E.T.
Yeah. But I think it's still just a less harmful conspiracy theory than everything else you have going on. If we have an
Sure.
outside force that is beyond humans, I would be more on board with
Yep.
that. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
This was 2023 was the year they told us that aliens were real, pretty much, right?
Oh yeah, they've already like openly said that.
That
They
was
tu- it got
that
tucked,
was
it got
last
tucked
year.
in a bunch of other stuff, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the UFOs and
Mm-hmm.
because all his answers, I forgot who the guy even was, but they were very like, I can't really say, but wink, wink.
Isn't it crazy
there.
the idea that the government has known that aliens exist for a while and they didn't want the public to know? This is like a belief that people have, the Men in Black belief
Mhm.
of that people are dumb, so we can't tell the world that aliens are real because they're gonna go crazy. Like people were picturing that as soon as we found out that aliens were real, we were gonna just run in the street and just break windows, and it was gonna be mass chaos. And instead, we're just like,
Sure.
so Trump got another indictment? That's insane. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
like we didn't even care. Like it wasn't even like it's like, but what is I still have to pay for things. I
Right.
still have my life I have to take care of. There's people
Right.
that are like, they're like, I still have kids. You think I can just stop life because an alien's up above? Who gives a shit? Like that, those are stars as far as I'm concerned. They don't,
Right.
I can't touch them.
That's why I'm happy I don't have kids because I have more time to worry and think about aliens.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
you're gonna be
yeah.
you're gonna be the one that saves the day in the end then.
gonna.
That is how
I'm
the
gonna look
movie
out
goes.
for 'em.
Yeah. Somebody who wakes up out of a coma or something, and
But
Yeah.
I think we're good. I think we wrapped up 2023.
I taught. Simba had a good 2023.
Oh yeah.
He learned a lot of new tricks. He learned.
He rings a bell now.
He rings a bell now.
So follow Simba with the thumbs.
At Simba with the thumbs. He goes through tunnels. So
and Zach, what is your band's Instagram?
You can find us at The Relevant Elephants.
All right.
We're on Spotify, SoundCloud, all that stuff. Wherever you find your music, you'll find us.
Yeah, check them out.
Awesome.
They're great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at Esther Toy, ESTHERTOI.
And I am at Jeff Horst, JEFFHORSTE on all social media.
And Zach is not on social media right now because he's better.
He's
than
better.
us.
He's better than us.
Not really.
And
I mean, that's not why you did it. You're not trying to flex.
Yeah.
But also,
and you can follow.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it. And you can follow We're Freaking Out.
Oh yeah, that's our podcast.
Yeah. Follow.
So we're
follow
freaking
the
out
podcast.
on Instagram and TikTok, and I think we're good. Oh,
right.
We are Planet Ant podcast. Planet Ant is a theater in Hamtramck, Michigan, and we're on the Planet Ant podcast network. And follow Planet Ant at Planet Ant DET on social media.
And check out
the
I got some
theater.
Check out the theater. And I got some upcoming shows. I think should I say that? Or should we say sure? Right?
If you want.
Hey, I'm gonna be in Atlanta, February 1st. I'm gonna be in Bolingbrook, Illinois, which I'm not allowed to say Chicago, but I mean, if there's people in Chicago that don't even know that it exists, and it's only 40 minutes away from you, so I think I should be allowed to say that it's Chicago, because otherwise, how would people in Chicago know that I'm 40 minutes away from them if I say the name of a city they've never even fucking heard of? So fuck you, I'm in Chicago. Then after that, Cleveland. So in February, I got some stuff coming up. So coming out. Check out my upcoming shows.
Cool. Peace.
Love you all. Bye.
This has been a production of Planet Ant Podcast, powered by Pinecast.